What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Wars. Thanks for joining me today. So today, my friends, I'm going to open up the broker and I'm going to show you how to put some orders in with interactive brokers. I'm going to talk to you about futures and give you some guides step by step. I know a lot of people have been asking for it lately, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to focus on today. All right, so let me just go ahead here and let's just do some shout outs and then we'll step right into it. So we have an early start today. So not everybody's going to be here, but thank you for those who are willing to come out. So Champagne, what's going on? STK, one story a day. Trading Wars Army. Mohammed, what's going on? Shannon, Peter, Alicia, Jan, Trading Wars Army. Brandon, what's going on? Good to see you. Anybody else here today? Andy, Kent, Trading Wars Army. Good to see you, my brother. Yep. So let's step right into it, guys. Okay. So I'm going to hit the replay today and we will walk through the setups. And then I have the broker right here and we will go through that as well. Okay. So, boom. All right. So the first thing is yesterday we had that gap up and we filled the gap and then we bounced back up. So I have the previous day's high and the previous day's low drawn. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is get our short trigger, which was 368.31. So that was our line in the sand for the short today. All right. And this is a very important level because you'll see how it works later on in the day. All right. So the first candle here comes in on the 5-minute. You can see that we are opening inside of the range, right? So we're not gapping up. So if you look at yesterday, you see how we gapped up out of the range. We are inside of the range. And anytime we're inside of the range, what I expect to do is see a lot of chop, right? I generally see back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and not really like a clean directional day. And because of that, I always am very cautious on inside days. All right. So nonetheless, we had these first two candles pop up here. And the first thing we went is for looking for this morning leg fib. Okay. So if I go from high to low here, I'm just going to go ahead and swap out to the basic. So we try to take this one on a pullback right here, and you can see it went right through. And when this happened this morning, I could tell that today could be one of those choppy days. All right. So next up, we had the short trigger, and you'll see the short trigger filled, and we got to a first target. All right. So off to a little bit of a slow start today in the morning, the fib failed, but the short trigger, we were able to take it for first targets. Let me go ahead and just show you guys that commentary right there. So that was short trigger activated, 948, target one hit, guys. So unfortunately, after that, we pop right back up. So this is the type of chop that I was expecting, okay? And then from there, guys, we tried the fib the other way, going for the short side. And again, we just got completely chopped up. So from the 618, I was able to get a little bit of a scalp. So we tagged the 618, we came back down, and then we just squeezed through. So at this point, pretty much really, really frustrated with the day. So we just went ahead and we said, all right, let's wait for some clearer signals here. Let's go ahead. Let's look for the afternoon leg, the opposing leg, the V trigger. So let's look at those right now. All right. So from here, we had our low to high like this. Okay. And I have a really important discussion on PDR, which I'll discuss with you in a second. Okay. So just pay attention for that. So we have our 50, our 786. Okay. So we came in the afternoon, we tagged, came down to our 618. And then you can see from here, I'm going to put on the full fib so you're able to see the targets. So if I go to full here, so the afternoon was pretty decent. We got some good scalps. So the 618 popped right back up to the 382. So that's, a nice little pop for profit taking that we like to do. And we went all the way to the 280. And then at this point, generally getting your stop to break even to protect you. And then from there, we came down, we tagged the 786, pop right back up again. So all of these fibs were giving good scalp level to level kind of style. And then from there, guys, finally, we came back and retested the V trigger. So remember this red line, this is where we went short in the morning. We came back and the V trigger, the second time, we had a clean flush through. Okay, so that was a nice one. So this concept right here is what we call the V trigger. So this is something that I created here. So if you see this is why I call it the V trigger, because of this V. So it makes an upside down V. So what we're doing here is we break the level and then we break it again. And the concept behind the V trigger is the more times we hit the level, the more likely it is to actually break, because the level is support. It's like a wall, right? And the more times we hit it, the more likely we are to break. Okay. So hit me with a 10 if you're following me so far. So triggers are a combination of average true range and Fibonacci's. All right. And we were pretty confident that this V trigger was going to work. And the reason why I'm going to show you right now, if I go ahead and just hit the basic fibs here, is you're going to see, guys, what actually was trading extremely well today. I'm going to show you that right here. I'm going to go right here to the fibs, is the opposing leg. So page 26. So a lot of the times we take opposing legs. A lot of my advanced traders take opposing legs. So if I go from here, high to low, you'll see right there, that little doji on the 618. And then we come back down here, high to low on this side, 618 with an inside bar rejection. So on the way down, it was actually doing a very clean stair step. So there, pull back, there, pull back. So that was like that's how I could tell that this algo was coming in. And that's why we had the confidence right here for this V trigger, because we seen the algo coming in and it was just stair stepping down. Boom, 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 bam, boom. Okay. And then from there, after we hit our targets, we reversed right back up. So that's what we kind of expect on inside days. A lot of chop back and forth, but still some opportunities. I was very frustrated in the morning, to say the least. But hey, that's what happens. It's not always going to be as clean as the last 2 days. And just to, let you guys be aware, whenever you see an inside open, right, be careful. Be careful. It's not the type of day where you want to risk the house on it. Okay. All right. Now, from here, what I want to discuss with you is something called the previous day's range. All right. And a lot of my advanced traders in the Discord took this trade. And I don't really talk about it all the time because sometimes it gets confusing with new traders. But I want to show you guys this because I think some of you might actually prefer this. Okay. So we're going to just double click on our fib and we're going to put it in the full setting. And we're going to go ahead here and I'm just going to take the Fibonacci from yesterday's high to low. Okay. So where we rejected today was exactly the 50% retracement of yesterday's range. So if I go high to low right there was 50% right there. Okay. So that was 50%. So that 50% right there, guys, the previous day's range is something I love to use, especially when we open inside, but I don't teach it to everyone because in the beginning, it's easier to just work with a morning leg because the price action is there. But these patterns are very, very, very powerful, especially when you have a confirmation candle. So you can see right at the 50 here, we had an outside bar giving us that confirmation. Okay. So hit me with a 7 if that makes sense. All right. So the concept of just a quick little discussion on the previous day's range is the previous day's range. What the goal of the previous day's range is to use this leg from yesterday as a basic Fibonacci, just like we trade intraday. So if you actually go here to the hourly chart, okay, from the hourly chart, you can see this very, very clearly. It's a lot easier, right? If you go to the hourly chart, you can see the high, the low, the pullback exactly. You could even see this 618 pullback started yesterday, but then we retested the 50 here 2 times today. And then we even had the Nirvana confirmation candle at basically 10:30 close. Okay. And then that took us right back down. All right. So that's, a little bit advanced, but I want to talk about it with you guys because the higher time frames. So for example, if you can't day trade, you can always go to the fibs on the higher time frames and play those, right? The same way we play them on the 5-minute chart, it's the same way we play them on the hourly. So for example, let's just look at a few examples here. I want to make sure I give you guys some good education here. So you can see this was from the 13th. There's our impulsive leg up, right there in that golden zone, and then a gap up, right? And then we can just keep going here and just keep looking for examples here. So if you look at the bigger picture, this would be like the weekly. If I go from high to low over here, you could see the 618 rejection. Okay. So there's a lot of fibs going on all the time. And that kind of leads us into the topic about futures trading. Okay. So what is futures trading? All right. Before we continue, just hit me with a 9 if everything's making sense to you. And then we're going to talk about futures trading right now. Right. So the futures is the SP 500 E-minis. The futures contracts are basically contracts that are open essentially 24 hours a day. There's like an hour break between 5 to 6 o'clock, and there's a break on Friday, and it opens back on Sunday. All right, so it's the same thing as the S&P 500. But let's look at this, for example. So this might be a concept that you guys don't understand, where you see these gaps, right? These gaps. So you can see these gaps clearly here on the hourly chart, right? So just hit me with a 2 if you see those gaps. There's a gap here, there's a gap here, right? So what makes those gaps? And I'm not sure if everyone understands what that concept is, but what makes those gaps is actually the price action that's happening on futures overnight. So for example, right now on futures, it's we opened right here at 18. that's 6 o'clock, and we've been trending down. So tomorrow, if the market, let's say we open here, for example, there's going to be a gap in the market. So that gap is filled in by futures, and you're actually able to trade futures right now. We could trade futures right now. All right. So that's the first concept I want to talk about, is basically gaps on SPY and SPX are futures overnight action. All right. All right. So hit me with the 2. That makes sense. And what I'm going to do right now, guys, is I have a link for the Interactive Brokers Futures guide. And I'm going to go ahead and just post that in the chat right now. Shit. I think the link is broken. Give me 1 second. I want to post it in the chat so you can read along here. I'm going to grab it. 1 second, guys. Futures trading and conditional orders. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm posting that in the chat. So if you can, click on the futures trading link. Let me just send one by futures trading by itself. Click on the futures trading link if you can, and that's going to pop you open to Interactive Brokers. And I'm going to click on it myself, and then we can just go through a few things here, and then we'll look at the actual orders. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm here. All right, just hit me with a 10 real quick when you're here. So we'll start talking about that. So one of the main benefits about futures is obviously low commissions, right? I always talk about that. When it compares to option trading, futures will always be cheaper, and that goes a big deal and a far way when you start trading with more size and when you start trading more frequently. You don't want to lose your profits to commissions, okay? And there are many different types of futures here. So let's navigate this together. So let's go right here. There's our commissions, and right here, look, agriculture, crypto, currency, energy, equity, fixed income, interest rate, metal, soft, volatility indices. There's so much, right? So you literally could trade everything. Okay, you literally can trade everything. All right, and just by clicking on the link, guys, that supports the channel. So click there and follow along while we go through the broker. Okay, so all right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop open the broker here. So I'm here. This is Interactive Brokers, and this is just my general layout. I'm in a paper trading account right now. So what I like to do is have half the screen for the chart, but my analysis is always done on Tradingview or Trendspider. I don't do my charting on Interactive Brokers. I don't like it at all. But their execution with their trades, their commissions are very, very reasonable, and they're very quick. So what we're going to do here is this top window right here is your orders, trades, your summary. Down here, your portfolio, monitor, watch list, etc. And then what you really want to look at is order entry. Okay. So the first thing is today we're going to focus on the S&P 500, and then we're going to continue to look at different futures every time we meet and every time there's a lesson. We'll continue maybe once a week. So the S&P 500, we have the ES1, which is the full contract, and then we have the MES, right? So the MES is what you're going to use if you're doing small accounts. So every single point on the ES is worth $50. Okay, am I thinking about it right? Yes. And every one on the MES is $5. Okay, so for example, so right now the market is moving up. So this is it went from 3,700 to 3,701. Okay, so 1 point right there, guys. I think I said it wrong. Hold on, guys. I always get MES and ES confused. MES is $5 a point, and ES is 50. All right, my bad. I was just thinking, I got them swapped around. Yeah. Okay. So if we move 1 point, so we go up here from 3,700 to 3,701, that's $50 using ES. Or if we use MES, which is what you want to use when you have a small account, it's going to be a $5 move. All right. Are you guys following me? Hit me with the 6. All right. So that's just the basics there. And so let's go ahead here and let's draw some fibs. And let's just talk about some potential trades, okay? And then we'll put them in together. So from a Fibonacci perspective, the order type you're going to be using is limits. Okay, limit is going to be your type of order, okay? So you're going to do limits, all right? So let's go ahead here and we'll go Fibonacci from low to high. And you could see that we're bouncing on the 618 overnight. So for those of you wondering, yes, overnight you can trade futures and there's always fibs that are happening. And sometimes the fibs are a little bit cleaner overnight. It depends on, you know, which institutions are trying to position themselves. And that's what happens a lot, right? The institutions, you can see, like, why are we bouncing from here? You know, 618, that's what it is. And the institutions, their algorithms are trading. Okay, so this is the price, 36.94.75. So let's say, you know, we want to get involved. So the first thing you do here is you do MES or ES, right? So you type it in. So let's type in ES, okay? And you hit enter. Then you want to go to futures, and you want to go to the next contract. So December, March, June, whichever, or you can do continuous. This doesn't matter. It's just the way that futures is set up. Every 4 months, a new contract starts, but it's not like options or anything like that. All right. So we go ahead, we click on December. So here we go. This is the December price action right here. And then if we're going to buy the dip, we're going to hit buy. All right. And we're going to go ahead to limit. Let's say we want one. And then we say 36.94.75. So we just have 36.94.75, hit tab. And then you can also hit advanced, and you can attach stop loss and a profit taking. So let's say the stop loss is 36.78. So 36.78 like that. And then let's just say I don't want to profit. I just want to stop. So I'll manage the profit taking on myself. Okay. So, you know, that's your general warnings and everything, because obviously futures requires margin. So here we go. So now you know your order is there, right? Because you could see it right here, buy and sell. And you can actually take your order and you can move it up like this and move it down. And then once you fill, once your order is active, right? So let's try to get active right there. So you see where order is filled. Now we can go ahead and we can move the stop loss like down here for protection. Okay. See, does that make sense, guys? Hit me with the 6 if that makes sense. All right. And guys, look, I'm showing you what I do. I'm not giving you any advice or anything here. Obviously, I'm showing you what I do with the broker, with Interactive Brokers. Futures obviously requires margin. So know what you're doing, paper trade for a little bit and be comfortable before you risk your own money. Always make sure you do that. All right. I did paper trade for a while as well. Okay. All right. So there we go. So then that's an example. Can move your, cancel your stop loss, etc. And then if you go to portfolio, you'll see right now I have futures. So ES minus $40. Okay. So if I want to go ahead, I can go ahead right here, trading tools. There's, you know, different things you can do here. But I pretty much like to just keep it simple. So if I wanted to close this position, I could just hit close. Okay. And then submit. And I'm out, and I lost 17 bucks in paper money. All right. Okay. Hit me with the 5 if that makes sense. You guys understood that? So if we were to do a short now, we would just hit sell instead. Okay. If we were to do a short, we would just hit sell. All right. And there are also ways to add buttons where you can just hit buy and sell. You can also add hotkeys to buy and sell. But, you know, don't worry about that right now. Get the basics and the fundamentals down first. Okay. All right, guys. So there we go. So that's the lesson for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please click on the Interactive Broker links. It helps me out. And yeah, hit me with the 2 if you had a good time here. And I want to do this at least once a week where we can go in the broker. I'm going to do some options as well. When we do conditional orders on options for swing trades, I'm going to show you guys how to put those in. I'm going to show you how to do some more advanced orders, but let's get some support. All right, guys. So if we can get some likes on this video, 300 likes, and leave some comments down below, I'm going to continue to do this. All right. Not a lot of people will take the time to show you guys this stuff. So please show your support, guys. Okay. Thank you very much. As always, tradingwars.com. Right now, if you get any one of our 3 books, you get 1 month for free, or you can sign up right here. You know, we've had a great week so far, and we have Thursday and Friday coming up. Let's finish strong. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.